Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Pillow Talk with Dr. Boyce and Dr. Alicia Watkins. Today, we're going to talk about Howard University, and I'm here with my lovely wife, Dr. Alicia. How you doing today, babe?
I'm going to tell you, I am not doing well today.
Not doing well, okay.
And I woke up this morning and I saw some really interesting updates in terms of the Howard University housing issue, and I am furious.
Furious, okay, okay.
I am really furious.
And I want to ask everybody, just because I'm not sure of exactly what the technical difficulty was earlier, give us a yes in the chat if you can hear us. Let us know if you can hear us, because earlier we came in to talk about this issue, and you guys could not hear us, and we don't know why. We literally still don't know why. We thought our mics were working. So let us know. Can you hear us? Say yes, put a hashtag B1. Let us know you can hear us. Okay, Dog Blues. Thank you, Dog Blue. Okay, Sharon and Eddie and William, thank you so much. Because we were pissed. Because we were
equally mad.
We were so mad. And you know, and you're so zen. You're so like female Phil Jackson, because you were like, well, boys, if the microphone wasn't working, that meant that we weren't meant to do that podcast.
Yeah, I do. I believe that everything kind of falls out and falls in line with what is supposed to happen. We're supposed to do the podcast right now. It looks like people can hear us. Now we're on.
I believe India Arie would agree with that statement, and that's why she's your favorite singer. I thought it was Lizzo. I thought Lizzo was your favorite.
You know what, Lizzo? I'm not gonna say that I dislike her music.
She's a great singer.
You know, and I think she came out real strong with that one song.
More singing, less twerking.
There we go.
You know, more
good stuff from her.
Yeah. Give us some Jill Scott, not Step and Fetch It. We don't need no buffoonery necessary. Use your talent, girl. Anyway, all right. So let's jump into this conversation, y'all. How many of you are aware of what's going on at Howard University? It's getting heavy. I was following some of this online, and my wife was actually Alicia brought it to my attention. And I had originally pointed out there was a couple of comments that we saw kind of in the chat, like this one about, well, this person says, my cousin graduated from Howard 7 years ago. He was robbed at gunpoint in his dorm room. What's
interesting? I had a talk with my brother who graduated from Howard in 1990, and I told him what's happened. He said, "Oh, they still doing that? They still have those problems? Nothing's changed."
Yeah.
So 1990, there was issues.
That's
when
crazy.
He graduated, so he was there in the 80s, the late 80s.
Yeah,
and there we go.
And it's getting worse. It's actually getting worse. The students have actually, there's actually a tent city now at Howard where the students apparently are sleeping outside one of the administration buildings. I think they call it the Blackburn takeover. I think that's the hashtag everybody's using.
It is the hashtag. So apparently it looks like the administrators or the police have locked the students out of the administration building. So I don't think they can camp out indoors anymore. They can't go back to their dorms. Oh, excuse you, boys. Bless you. Anyway, they can't go to their dorms. And so now they have created tents outside of the administration building. They are sleeping in tents. It is starting to get cold. This is just gone too far.
I don't know about y'all, but I'd be pissed if we just dropped our son off at college, and I would be so pissed if his education was interrupted because he's sleeping in a tent in front of the administration building. What the...
The thing, not only did we drop him off to college at Louisville, but we dropped him off in a brand new dorm. He was the very first person in that room.
Wow.
State-of-the-art facilities. That's the university that cares about the learning of its students.
And the tuition was like half of Howard. Well, not even half, right?
But that's the thing that really got me going. I don't care if students pay $5. No child should be treated like that. And I think what hurts the most is that Howard University is a Black institution, is a HBCU. And it's one thing if people from the dominant society treat you a certain way, but I think it hurts more when it's your own people who don't even value you.
Well, that is interesting. I mean, I would love, what I think is probably bothering a lot of people is that nobody's hearing from the leadership at Howard. I don't know, maybe if you guys could share, is there any statement that's been released by the president? What's his name? I forgot the president.
It doesn't even matter the president's name. The thing is that I feel, and I think I was telling you earlier, is that I think that anybody who allows this type of behavior to happen, this type of disrespect for students to continue like this, I think from the board of trustees all the way down to that officer who locked out those students of that building, I think that anybody who's not standing alongside these students as they protest for decent housing and internet service so that they can finish their work, I think they all need to be fired. Every single one of them needs to be fired.
Well, I think that it's one of those things where, from where I sit, I feel like it's like, okay, all right, Howard, so we'd like to hear your side of the story at least, right? Like, what is happening here? Because right now, the only narrative that people are hearing is the students. And that's really because the university, Wayne Fredericks, that's his name. That's the president's name.
Wayne Fredericks.
Yeah. I mean, all people are hearing from are the students. And we started following this page. It's on Instagram. It's what the live movement _ the live movement. And so I go to the live movement, right? This page, I guess, the students created to kind of express their plight. And I see this image of this sister who's like just staring down one of the security guards.
Don't you just love it? And the beauty of it, I mean, by the way, I learned about this from the Black Girls in Social Work.
Yeah,
because that's
you got to pull up some of their comments on your phone.
Oh, I'll have to try to pull it up
because some of those comments were good.
The comments were wonderful,
and people were telling their stories about their own personal experience at Howard.
Yeah, and it's so interesting. I'd like to hear from the social work department at Howard University to see what their response is to that. If the social work department is not leading the way on this, then I don't know how any of this. I'm calling them out right now.
Well,
these are my colleagues. Well, they should be just as furious as I am, and I have legacy at Howard University.
Yeah, your great grandfather.
My great
started the Omega Psi Phi.
He didn't start the
chapter.
He
was the first line at Howard. Right?
He was on the first line. Now, don't get that. If you get that fact wrong with the Omega Psi Phi, it'll be like all over me.
They'll come barking.
You cannot have. Stop.
Stop.
No, he was on
the first line. Francis
there.
Taylor. Shout out to Francis Taylor.
He did not start it. And my brother went there, and when it was time for me to go to college, I would have been excited to go to Howard. And my parents were like, no, you are not going to Howard, because my brother went through so much stuff there. And it's funny because not even that, like my other cousin, he went to Tuskegee. My cousin Jessica, she went to Hampton. And then I had another cousin that went to Morehouse. So, I mean, I have legacy for HBCUs, but some of their experiences were less than ideal. Tuskegee, some of them had really good experiences. But, because of that, I ended up going to a state school, but that's not the point. The point is that Howard University should be ashamed of themselves.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's I know that, we have a daughter who is 14. Who has said she wanted to go to Howard.
Yeah, she specifically said, Mom, I want to go to Howard University.
And our answer to her is, hell the fuck no.
There's no way.
Like, no, you ain't going to. We're not, because I tell you
she would be unsafe.
If my child is sleeping in a tent or sleeping bag in the administration building when they're supposed to be in class, I'm going to be a little mad about that. I mean, they got these images of tent cities, and it's almost winter, y'all. Like, it's getting cold. This is not the time to be, in a tent. S. Eaton Cole says my son isn't currently involved. Well, shout out to your son.
Yes, let's give some support to him.
Where's the alumni?
Exactly.
Let me just tell you this. Howard has a few famous alumni.
They got a lot of
one famous. Of them, Diddy, who's always in the club.
No, wait.
Throwing money up in the air. What?
Hold on. I don't think he graduated from there. He attended Howard.
Well, but he claims Howard.
Yeah, but he didn't graduate.
He's always claiming Howard. I think he did his first little hip hop concert at Howard.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, did he? I'm sure did.
Well, he used to host parties when he was on campus, according to my brother, because they were there at the same time.
Yeah, so I kind of feel like where's your wealthy celebrity stepping up and doing something for these poor kids?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. It's like the vice president. She is the second most. Our vice president, Kamala Harris, is the second most powerful person in the world. And Howard University is a
Wait,
stone.
did you
What?
bring up, you brought up Kamala? You know that's disallowed by the Biden Gestapo. You know, you'll get,
Is she untouchable or what?
well, she's part of the sacred holy trinity of Democratic politicians that you cannot speak ill of.
Yeah. Am I trying to bring down another black woman
You
voice?
are. You just be hating.
I'm
Expect
hating on
asking
Asians.
Kamala to actually do anything for black people. You know that ain't right. That woman's got more important things to do than to give a damn about us raggedy Negroes.
Oh my goodness. And now you know it, and it's so funny because people think that people like, oh, Dr. Alicia looks just like Kamala Harris.
They
And I'm
did.
like,
There
oh
were
my
people who
God.
said y'all look alike. Yeah, that's so funny.
I'm
I gotta
like,
put y'all's pictures next to each other and try to see. But yeah. So Kamala, you were talking about Kamala. I'm sorry.
no, I was just saying, I mean, Howard University is a stone throw away from, the White House and from Congress. I mean, these are the most powerful people in the world, actually. And right there in their backyard is this that's happening. What hypocrisy?
Well, one of the things I think that's, and the reason we brought up Kamala is, in case you don't know, Kamala graduated from Howard, and Kamala was claiming the hell out of Howard. I mean, using that Howard brand to get elected. You know, she was talking all about the AKAs and skiing her ass off, and how she used to stroll through the yard and all this. You know, and it's like there's a time where you're supposed to show and prove. Like there's a time where you're supposed to pay the piper. You can't just lean on a connection to get what you want and then not be available when those people need you. And so I think that's why. So in case you're wondering why we're bringing up Kamala, it's because you're down the street. You're the vice president of the United States. You're one of the most important human beings, well, not most important, but one of the most powerful human beings on the entire planet. And these black kids, many of whom look like you, many of whom want to be like you, like you were in college. There's a picture of Kamala back in college.
I would even say that because Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris, attended Howard
University. Kamala.
I don't know. Whatever. I hate when people correct me with names.
Say it right.
Whatever. Okay. Whatever. Because she graduated from Howard, I'm almost certain a lot of those students said, you know what? The vice president graduated from Howard.
Ooh.
I'm going to be a graduate from Howard because I too can be vice president or president.
That's real. I too can become vice president and ignore the young people behind me.
I mean, serious. Can you imagine? Oh, anyway, go ahead.
So anyway, guys, this is Pillow Talk with Dr. Boyce and Dr. Alicia Watkins, and this is where we have a podcast where we literally lay against our pillows and have nerdy conversations. We're both college professors, and we're also Black, and we're also parents. So this Howard University topic was something we both agreed that we'd like to talk about. If you could, please take 1 second and hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe button if you have not done that yet. And also, don't forget that this week is the All Black National Convention, and Dr. Alicia and I are both going to be there. It's in Orlando. We have over 60 Black people that are going to be speaking at this convention. And it's going to be great. And it's going to be focused on building our community by using the smart people in our community to come up with solutions and ideas and frameworks and to move our community forward. So if you want to learn more, you can also attend virtually. You can go to allblacknationalconvention.com. The URL is right there on the screen. Right. And I think the convention is great for, talking about things like this, right? Because it's kind of like, okay, how do we make sure our kids get an education without leaning on, obviously, I'm not gonna say disabled institutions like Howard, because I don't think Howard's disabled, but something ain't right. Something ain't right when Black children are going through something like this. They live in tents outside of the administration building, and nobody can do anything about it. They had a mold problem in the dorms, and now these pictures of the mold are popping up, and it's disgusting. I mean, our kids should not be living in the middle of mold. Like, that's crazy. And you showed me that picture of the kid that had that mold that grew in his baseball cap and all this other stuff. I mean, these are some of the images that have been floating around media, and it's just not a good look for Howard. And we talked to you guys about some of the symptoms, the long-term symptoms of exposure to mold. They include blindness, COPD, wherever the fuck that is, hypersensitivity, pneumonitis, histoplasmosis, memory loss, long-term, bleeding lungs, kidney failure, liver disease, cancer, and death. So this is what people are saying about you, Howard. And so those young people who were on that Instagram page, what the live moment, the live movement,
roaches and rats.
Oh God.
And mold.
That's just nasty. Oh, that's crazy. That's really sad. I mean, you shouldn't have to go through that in college. You shouldn't have mold. Look at that. That's a.
And I'm not saying I'm looking in the span of students who are protesting. I'm not seeing one adult in that protest. Boys, we need to go. Let's go to Howard. Let's go to DC. It's too bad we have this convention.
Well, we got the convention
but
coming.
We have got to, if this isn't so, I think we should go to DC.
Well, you know what? I think that we should. I'd like to go. I will go with you. And I bet you that there are other people out there. We can't be the only ones, right? We can't be the only ones who are concerned about this. I mean,
this is a stop the presses type of moment.
I think so too.
Stop the presses. Let's go. We should go and bring food and bring support and stuff to the students in the tent and bring.
Well, you know what? Well, I think it's I agree with you. I mean, I can see your nurturing, your mother instinct is kicking in, and you want to be there because here's a poor little girl who had some mold growing in her sneakers. Look at that. This was on. She needs to
throw those out now.
Yeah, that's nasty. That's so nasty. What this is somebody's mold grew on somebody's barbecue or fan on their fan.
Yeah, because there's no air conditioning in the dorms.
Yeah, mold is not a game. You don't play with mold.
Oh my!
What is this? Yeah. Okay, we're gonna show y'all this picture. We don't know what the hell this is. It looks like the surface of Mars. And oh my God,
it's on the ceiling.
More evidence.
It's just coming down from the ceiling.
Oh my God, Howard, shame on you. Oh my God, I gotta show y'all this picture, y'all.
Did you see the furniture I sent? I sent you a picture of the furniture.
Send me that picture again because I want to share this with everybody.
Send it again. I sent it to you one time.
Did you? You already sent it to me?
It's in there. You got to look for it.
Okay, I'm gonna go find it.
Okay.
All right. But yeah, look at that. Look at what is this? What can y'all tell me what the hell this is? What? Pull out your phone. Pull out your information because there was a company that they had found that was responsible for running the dorms. Can y'all see this? Look at this.
This is terrible.
Tell me that's not nasty. That is just crazy. Look at it. Here's another image. And this is a shout out to the Instagram page. You can we're following. It's the live movement _ the live movement. And one of the students, she was so smart, and she said to the administration, she said, if y'all touch one of these students, she was saying this to the cops. She said, if y'all touch one of these students, just know that the parents are watching, the alumni are watching, and the world is watching. And I said, I'll be damned if she ain't right. Somebody, she probably got smart parents that prepared her for this. Yeah, so it says Howard University has officially locked down Blackburn again, denying students access to resources, food, water, toiletries, etc. We need our supporters to come outside of Blackburn now. Okay. And there's another picture of a few more pieces of evidence that prove students are experiencing mold and not mildew.
This is a nightmare situation.
Yeah, are they trying to say it's mildew and not mold?
Oh, they're trying to say they're wrong. This is the ultimate gaslighting. Oh gosh, look at that.
What is
that on your shoe?
I don't know. I'm gonna share this picture with you guys so you can see it. But I don't even know. You know what? It's so funny. I must have grew up too black because I didn't even really know anything about mold growing up, and I'm sure I was around it. I'm sure a lot of us. I'm sure a lot of us grew up around it and didn't know what it was. And I think that's why a lot of our kids end up growing up having these medical conditions. My accountant had reached out to me. She actually lives in DC, and she had a mold problem, and she said that she was freaking out about it. She was saying, I'm going to sue this person and sue that person, and this is unacceptable, and this is a health hazard, and I was having health problems. So that's what made me research what mold does, because I had to be honest and admit I didn't even know how serious mold was until my accountant had called me right before this whole Howard thing went down. So when I heard the word mold, like here's an example, here's an image. Somebody sent over a shoe that has apparently has some mold on it. And the students, I guess they're now trying to deal with propaganda and disinformation, right? So I'm sure maybe somebody in the administration came back and said, oh, they're just overreacting. This is not a big deal. But the thing about it, to me, that really sticks out is that there have been a lot of people that have complained about conditions at Howard for a long time. There's another example. Some students sent over that picture of mold on their shoes. And then here's a picture of some mold on somebody else's shoe. I can honestly, if I looked at that, I wouldn't know, but I assume, maybe someone that understands mold can identify it. The fuzzy stuff is mold. That's what Nina says. It's probably mold and mildew. Okay. Yeah. Casey, it probably is. And let's see. Eric is asking, where's Kamala Harris?
Yeah.
I agree. You don't hear about this. Okay, Kenitra says you don't hear about this at white universities and colleges.
Yeah, you don't. Remember, it happened at Indiana University, and we went there for our yearly pilgrimage to Indiana.
Oh, they took
they were serious. I said, "What happened? Why is everybody not on campus? Why is it looks like big construction going on?" They said, "Oh no, they found mold, and one student was injured by it, and they compensated that student, and they shut down those dorms. No one lives in there, and they are working effortlessly to repair the mold."
Well, I'm thinking effortlessly.
Or continuously to prepare the mold. You know what? Why you corrected me?
I was helping you out.
So they said they've been working and they're going to have it back open next academic year, and then everyone will be safe.
Yeah. Reese says, where's Kamala Harris and her chucks and pearls?
Yeah. Chucks and pearls,
yeah. Well, I will agree. I mean, Indiana's where Alicia and I first met each other. And at Indiana University, when they had a mold issue, they really shut everything down. And I remember they just reacted like the mold was just, like the scariest thing in the world. And I just hate the idea of our students being exposed to that. And so here were these were level 1 symptoms of mold. Just maybe if your child has some of these symptoms and they happen to be at Howard: headaches, eye irritation, sneezing, itching, skin redness, and skin rash. And then there's apparently like a level 2 exposure, which includes things like nosebleeds, ear infections, chronic sinusitis, chronic bronchitis, pain in the muscles and joints, asthma, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, coughing up blood or black-looking debris, neurological disorders, nervous disorders, heart palpitations, blurred vision, swollen glands, weight loss, chronic fatigue, loss of appetite, depression, open skin sores or lesions, fungal nails, hands or feet, sexual dysfunction, thyroid conditions. And then, of course, there was level 3, which is blindness, COPD, hypersensitivity, pneumonitis, histoplasmosis, memory loss, long-term memory loss, bleeding lungs, kidney failure, liver disease, cancer, and death. So I would say the students are right to really react strongly to this. Here are some more images that students sent over with mold. Apparently, I wonder if like right now there's like an extra mold issue with DC, like, or because my accountant happened to live in DC and had that mold problem, and I'm wondering if something's happening with.
What about Georgetown?
Oh well, Georgetown.
You think Georgetown has a mold problem?
No, they don't. They don't.
What about American University right there, the same place?
Well, again, you can't defend Howard, right? I am not on any level trying to defend, because I told you my experiences with Howard were trifling as hell too.
Yeah.
I told you how I went.
People were not nice to me at Howard.
Yeah. Your experience with Howard was bad. How many of you? Let's just do a quick test.
Oh, okay.
Give me a yes in the chat if you have had a crappy experience with Howard University. Now, not to say that you haven't had like positive too, but like, can you think of times where you were there and you were kind of like hurt, disappointed, or you saw some things that you went through that people shouldn't have to go through? Give me a yes or no. I don't know if we're look at
all the other people saying yes.
Yeah, let me see. Reese James, Drop Zone Media. Bet they won't do that. Oh, okay. So Jerry Washington says yes. Yeah, because I can tell you, I still remember when I had that crazy thing that happened with my speaking engagement. That was just horrible. That just pissed me off. And then years before, when I interviewed at Howard in the finance department and got interviewed by that Chinese man, and I was like, why is the Chinese man the chair of this damn department? I'm still pissed about that. I don't understand. And maybe this is part of the issue, right? Think about it, right? The reason Georgetown doesn't have these problems probably has to do with the fact that Georgetown has an endowment that I'm sure is like 30 times bigger than Howard, right?
Yeah, Reese is saying it's all about who you know. I felt like that. Like when I had some interactions with people at Howard, I just kind of felt like they were just kind of like they didn't want to have much to do with me because they felt like I wasn't like important enough to talk to for some reason. It's like they sized me up and was like, there's no reason for me to get to know Alicia. So I'm just gonna kind of give her the cold shoulder. I think that's
so like
what
maybe
I got.
the bougie black people thing?
Yeah, like they didn't know anything about me. They didn't even take out the time to like get to know me. It was just almost like, I don't have time for her. I'm just gonna go talk to someone else. I just got the impression that it was just like I wasn't important enough for the individuals from Howard to talk to me and to take me seriously. It's not that I didn't want anything from them. It was just like, hey, what's going on?
Well,
I got a little elitism is how I felt. Like they were just too good to even talk to me.
Well, and I remember when I was getting my PhD at Ohio State, I had a classmate who said she really wanted to teach at Howard, and she applied to teach there, and we were both, coming out of our programs, we're kind of excited about the idea of teaching at HBCU, and she applied. Right, we both went on the market. We both applied to all these different campuses, right? And the way the application process works is you send out your stuff, the universities get back to you, and then they schedule a campus visit. And then you could do another interview process. And then or maybe, they interview, well, else they interview us at the conference. Then they schedule a campus visit, like maybe, let's say, winter time. Then by spring, you get your offers, right?
Okay.
She said that Howard didn't even respond to her until after all the other schools had already had her flown in for a campus visit and made offers to her.
Wow.
Like, so literally at the tail end of the year, Howard's like, oh, we have your application. We'd like to interview you. And she's like, I interviewed 5 months ago. Like I've already taken a job, and I remember just thinking, this is ghetto. It's kind of trifling. Like how do they even get faculty in their campus? I don't know. I didn't get that.
Didn't sound like they were professional or very serious about the process of hiring.
Yeah. Oh, somebody said, oh, look at this. S. Eaton Cole says, the sprinklers went off during the night. Second, no faculty came to the meeting called to address the sprinklers. Third, the sit-in started. Okay.
I wonder, you mean the sprinklers came on while they were outside sleeping?
I don't know. I wish I could understand that. Is the issue Howard University of the disparity of funds available to HBCUs? Yeah, HBCUs are historically underfunded. And there was an article that you guys might have seen about the Biden administration, I guess, because Kamala her chucks and pearls are not enough. They're actually cutting funding to HBCUs. Let me see.
Is it 98%? Oh, am I over exaggerating? Maybe it's 97.
No. It was a big deal. It was a lot of money. By the way, everybody, please hit the thumbs up button while I look this up. I'm gonna find this. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Black Enterprise says HBCU funding falls from $45 billion to $2 billion in Biden spending plan due to Democratic infighting. So they, Biden, he's like, I'll use the black people. I got them to come and vote for me, and so now I can do whatever I want. I don't know. What are you gonna say back?
No, I was gonna say, I mean, that kind of sets the precedent about precedents. Did I say that correctly?
The precedent about presidents.
Yeah, precedent.
The precedent or the president?
That lets you know it's like, no, the university's not gonna honor the students, and neither will the government or the United States.
Yeah. Do us a favor, please hit the thumbs up button. So I saw this clip of
Look at that.
That was chaos. What the hell's going on right there? That's kind of a mess. I don't know if y'all see that. Were you able to hear that? I guess there's something. I mean, it looks like it's getting kind of confrontational there. And I would, yeah, if it wasn't the week of the convention, I would definitely say let's just go fly to DC.
Yeah.
And really, truth be told, we could maybe still do that. Maybe we could look into seeing if we can make
I'll
it out there.
go.
You'll go.
I will go. I will really go.
Okay, let's see what we can do, because I'd like to support and see how it can help. Because I definitely, I think as parents, we don't want to see our kids sleeping in tent cities in front of the administration building. And honestly, like with all these kids, these are all of our kids. You know, I don't know how if y'all
if
y'all
you're
feel
18 years old, you're a child.
Well,
sorry.
Right. Well,
you might be like technically an adult, but an 18-year-old, I just have an 18-year-old, so I know he is an adult in a lot of different ways, but he's still got a lot to learn. He's wet. What my mom say? He's wet behind the ears.
Well, and also for me, like when I see these kids out there, remember some of these kids don't have parents, you know, and they don't have a lot of support at home. I see all of them as my kids, you know, and I wish I was a billionaire, because I'd just I'd write a $50 million check and put them all in a nice fancy apartment complex or something, you know, like, so when I see these kids struggling, I think as a community, these are all of our children, you know, and I think that, you know, and I don't know, I'm not going to presume that Howard doesn't care about the kids. I just would like to understand what's going on, you know. So
this is a third world. I mean, this is a westernized, developed nation, and we have people right here living in a third world condition, worse than a third world. I mean, we visited some places that were third world like, and and you know, they didn't live this bad. This is worse than what we saw.
Yeah, it's pretty messed up. Yeah. I'd be curious to hear from I would love to hear from President Fredericks. Yeah. The president of the university.
He needs to be out there with him in the cold, living in that tent, making sure that things are done. If he's doing anything short of that, shame on him.
Yeah, like
if he's sleeping in a nice cozy bed and he's got drinking water and he's living in asbestos free, mold free conditions, then shame on him. How can he sleep at night knowing that his students, those are his students, are living the way that they are?
Well, let's look up a little bit more about the president, Wayne Fredericks. He's on the screen. I think everyone should know who's running Howard and what this guy's all about. So let me see. So according to Wikipedia, Wayne Fredericks was born June 17, 1971. Wow, his birthday is almost identical to mine. He's born 3 days before me. He's a Trinidadian scholar. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe we need African Americans up in there running a school that African Americans are supporting. I mean, I'm not trying to be overly nationalistic here, but one thing I could say is that a lot of HBCUs hire foreign faculty, particularly in business and in the sciences. They don't hire African Americans, and they claim they can't find them. But I went to Howard and knocked on the door and said, I was trained by the best in the world, which I was. I'm ready to take a pay cut. What I got to do. And I had to be interviewed by this Chinese guy to get that job at Howard. I couldn't believe it. And then when I was going to go speak there, wasn't going to charge him any money. I was going to, I brought my own crowd of my own people came to see me. You know, they were supposed to give us a room. And when they found out how many people were coming to see me, they put a sign up that said, this event is canceled, and didn't explain anything, didn't communicate with my people, didn't do any of that. It was just not just disrespectful, but unprofessional as shit. And so it really just makes you wonder.
I mean, come on. They could have said, hey, you know, boys, you have this event going on. You know, they could have at least given you some BS answer, or at least addressed you. They didn't even address you.
No, that's the problem. That's that bougie Negroitis.
Yes, it is. Like that frustration you felt. That's the frustration I feel sometimes when I have had contact with people from Howard.
Yeah, and you have these powerless Negro pens, because if you were truly powerful, you could feed your own goddamn kids. If you were really powerful, if all those butter biscuits they're giving you really gave you real power, your damn students wouldn't be living in moldy dorms and sleeping on the front of the administration building in tents when winter is approaching. Winter is coming, and your kids are sleeping in tent cities like homeless people. Homeless
Would
people
they put their
live
kids
in
that type of
right.
condition?
I
The
bet when
board of trustees,
boom.
anybody on the board of trustees at Howard University, would you actually put your kids into those dorms? And if the answer is no, if it's too good or not good enough for your own children, it shouldn't be good enough for anybody else's.
Yeah, absolutely.
The arrogance.
Yes, yes. So Wayne, so Fredericks has been the president of Howard since July 21st, 2014. He's a distinguished Charles R. Drew Professor of Surgery, so apparently he's a medical doctor. He was diagnosed with sickle cell disease at birth. As a result of being hospitalized, he became interested in science. He also accompanied his mother, a nurse, on visits to her workplace. After graduating at the age of 14, he took pre-college courses at St. Mary's College in Port of Spain. He enrolled in Howard in 1988 at the age of 16. As an undergraduate, Fredericks was admitted to Howard University's BS-MD dual degree program. He completed the requirements for both degrees in 6 years, allowing him to earn both his Bachelor of Science and his medical degree by the age of 22.
Hold on. He is a child prodigy.
Yeah, he went to college at 16.
I mean, he's a brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, what you've laid out so far tells me he is he soared above the rest.
Oh, he
intellectually.
sounds like an intellectual badass.
And he is a Howard alum.
Yeah, he completed his postdoctoral research in surgical oncology fellowships at the University of Texas MD Anderson Cancer Center. He began his academic career as an associate director of the Cancer Center at the University of Connecticut in 2004. Upon his return to Howard University, he served as the associate dean of the College of Medicine, division chief in the Department of Surgery, director of the Cancer Center, deputy provost for health sciences.
Wait, hold on.
Right.
He's interested in cancer and health sciences, and he's placing students in conditions ripe for the development of cancer.
Let's not make that assumption that he's doing this deliberately, but I wonder.
Do you think that he doesn't know this is going on?
I assume he's
a medical doctor. He of all people should know if I was president of a university and I was a doctor and I specialize in this area, and someone came to me, so it's not like he doesn't know about it. Someone came to me and say, students are living in this condition of mold. I had my red flag. I would be the most outraged of anyone else in that room, because I would understand as a medical doctor exactly the impact that's going to have not only on you but your entire family and your history.
Let's say this. Let me share this with you guys. So somebody was asking about how much he was paid. I'm assuming with him being a medical doctor, he would know some of the symptoms of mold. Like asthma, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, coughing up blood.
He knew this at the age of 16.
Yeah, he probably did. Yeah, he's a smart man. Being that smart. Come on, man. And actually do me a favor, guys. Please hit the thumbs up button, share, subscribe button. Hit the thumbs up button right now. Please hit the thumbs up button right now. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins, and this is Pillow Talk with Dr. Boyce and Dr. Alicia Watkins, where we get together. We're both professors and parents and Black people, and we love to talk about interesting things that are happening in the world and things that are on our mind. And also, don't forget that this week, if you want to see ways the Black community can actually empower itself, where we're not depending on others to solve our problems, like mold in the dorms, join us at the All Black National Convention. The convention starts the 29th, and we've got 61 speakers of all backgrounds, high-powered Black folks with lots of intelligence who are 100% committed to solving problems in the Black community. So check it out. Go to allblacknationalconvention.com. Please tell everybody about the convention because it's a very big deal. And we created it because I didn't enjoy going to the NAACP convention. I didn't feel like that was enough. I don't want Black Power brought to you by Walmart, or Black Freedom brought to you by Popeye's Chicken. I want something that was a little more authentic and a little more independent. So that's what the convention's about. So take a look. People like Dr. Claude Anderson will be there. Nuri Muhammad, Queen Afua, Vicky Dillard, Dr. Maurice Green, the head of the Black Doctoral Network. Lots of we got doctors and lawyers and attorney Nicole Compton, just all kinds of high power people. Jay Morrison from the Tulsa Fund. So feel free to check it out. The URL's on the screen. Share it with other people that you think might be interested as well. So anyway, so here's the thing. So we know health is wealth. You and I went for a run today. That's us.
Oh, did you take a screenshot of that?
Yeah, I did. My
eyes were closed.
Looks like you're sleeping.
That was okay.
That's That's what happens when you're next to a big sturdy black man. It's gonna take care of your girl. But yeah, we went running on a 5K this morning, and health is wealth. And so Alicia had me out there super early running this race, and that's when we came home and we saw what was going on in Howard, right, where the students are pretty pissed for good reason at the administration for putting them in these moldy dorms. Just to give a paraphrase for anybody who came in late. And so right now the students, their platform on Instagram, you found this for me, the live movement put the underscore first and look up the live movement, underscore the live movement. That's where the students
I
are
call it the
documenting,
live movement.
or
I think I was
I guess
wrong.
you know what, it can be the live movement or the live would make more sense, right? They're like, we want to live, like we want to live
The live out.
because
But you
mold
know,
kills.
I tend to get them wrong. So I always lean on
No,
what you
look, I
say.
mean the mold, it's crazy. So I think they really are saying like we want to live. Look at that nasty ass. What the hell, man? Come on. Seriously. Like how can you say we have a prestigious institution and our students have to live in the middle of mold? And the students had to send in pictures of mold growing on their shoes and their clothes and everything else. And it's unbelievable. So just a second ago, in case you just came in, we were asking a couple of questions. One about the funding of HBCUs, right? I remember everybody got excited about voting this nice pretty lady into the White House because she used her affiliation with Howard University to convince Black people that she's going to be there for us when we need her, right? So she had her chucks and pearls and was ski-weeing her way to the vice presidency, and Black people got her elected, right? And here's Kamala back when she was in college, right? So she was sharing these photos everywhere to say, "Hey, I'm one of y'all." But then now you're seeing where the Biden administration has cut funding dramatically to HBCUs. Now, I don't know. I kind of wonder, like, given that you did have a lot of money given to HBCUs, a lot of corporations giving money to HBCUs, the Black Lives Matter movement during the 2020 election led to a lot of money being given to HBCUs. I can't help but wonder if they would still be equally trying $500 million. Like I just really can't. I kind of look back and I'm like, okay, if Howard had all the money in the world, would that give them better management and administration of the institution? And so we're reading the bio of this guy, the president, Wayne Fredericks, who's a brilliant guy, a very brilliant guy, medical doctor, super smart, child prodigy, all that stuff. Shout out to him. But one thing that's really interesting to me is that most of the students at Howard, if I'm not mistaken, a big chunk of them are African American. This is an American institution, but I wonder how many of the faculty, particularly in the sciences, the business, and stuff like that, actually come from the United States. And also, someone was asking about Frederickson's salary. So let me read some of this to you about his pay. Now, this is years ago how much he made, and it's probably gone up by now. In 2014, he was paid $953,104, ranking 45th best paid among 510 presidents of private American colleges. In the winter of that year, classes were postponed because the college was unable to heat its facilities.
But they gave him almost $1 million.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he's probably making more than $1 million now. In February 2017, Frederick and 68 other presidents of Black institutions went to the White House to meet with various officials in the hope of securing additional funding from the federal government. The meeting prompted outrage on campus and a spate of graffiti vandalism that included allegations that Frederick did not care about Black people and was a plantation overseer. Mark Mason, an alum who is chief, but remember that was when Trump was in office. So I think that they were attacking the HBCU leadership for meeting with Trump, which I don't agree with that. I don't think anybody should have been attacked for meeting. I think whoever the president is, you talk to him. You have to. This idea that like I'm only going to talk to the Democrats, that's how you got enslaved by the Democratic Party anyway, because Biden clearly don't care about your. That's why he cut your money off as soon as he got in the office. He said, "Screw you, I don't need you anymore." So let me keep reading it. Let me read more. Let's see here. Mark Mason, an alum whose chief financial officer is Citigroup and a vice co-chair of the university's board of trustees, later told the New Yorker that the graffiti was inappropriately personalized and should not happen. In 2018, students asked Frederick for assistance with housing issues. See, so this is an ongoing problem.
Ongoing.
After the university was unable to assign dorm rooms.
Yep.
On multiple occasions, Frederick responded that students' emails were inappropriate in tone. Okay.
Oh, so he's getting bogged down on you did not approach me in the appropriate way.
Right.
This is so elitism.
Bro, you know what?
You need to be more.
You know what? If I don't paid you $50,000
more tailored in your response.
But listen, here's the deal, right? If I go to your campus and I done paid you $50,000 and you did not at least give me a place to live.
It's looking down your nose at them.
No, I'm gonna cuss you out.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like if you I mean, it ain't like I'm showing up
He's
asking
not
for
dealing
something
with,
for nothing.
He's not saying, "Oh my God, stop the presses. We have got to address this right now." He's caught up into the tone of the email.
Inappropriate in tone. It's inappropriate for you to take my money and not give me a place to live. Am I having a meltdown? I need a therapist. Are you a therapist? You're a therapist. That's right.
I'm not going to be your therapist.
I need a therapist.
You need a team of therapists, honestly. If anybody who knows you, I'm
becoming a crazy black man right now reading this. I don't know. I don't know Frederick. I'm just sitting there thinking, come on, man. If I'd have paid my $50,000, you better give me my room. If I ain't got a room, but everything I say is gonna be inappropriate.
I mean, these students are gonna need therapists.
Oh gosh, they
this
sure
is
are.
Awful because it's like their voices aren't really. It's not sinking in. That's why they're yelling. Because if you look at that page, the Live movement or the Live movement, if you look at that page at the beginning of the protest, it was like music playing. The atmosphere was kind of hopeful. They had a lot of hope. Things would change. And then all of a sudden, because I looked at the history, the timeline on Instagram, and you can see like the tone of it was like hope. Yeah, things will do better and things will get better. And then you can see it gradually turned into like this anger. Wow. Because what happened is that their voices...
So they went from being hippies to revolutionaries.
Yeah, because their voices weren't being heard. They weren't being taken... and their concerns weren't being taken seriously. And they were totally dismissed. And I think people do feel angry when they feel like their concerns and their legitimate concerns being taken seriously. Look at her.
She's mad.
That's iconic.
Oh, that lady. Yeah, that picture.
Who is that student?
I don't know, but she's famous now. She's gonna be famous.
I love her. Good for her.
That picture, they're gonna show that picture 30 years from now when Howard has first class facilities.
But look at him. He's got a mask on. He's more concerned. He's concerned about catching this thing.
He's like, they don't.
She's like, forget this man.
If I'm him, I would be thinking, y'all don't pay me enough to do this. Like this is, and she did a good job when she was speaking to them. I listened to her talk, and she said something like, she said, "This video will be watched by alumni.
Yes,
it'll be watched by. I think she said alumni, parents, donors, and your own children.
Yes,
will see this video.
Yes,
and I said, damn. I mean, this girl was ready.
How do you go to sleep at night? Do you sleep at night with a clear conscience, knowing I done good today?
I think that
I done good.
Well, here's the thing, right? Well, I think for him, he probably does feel some guilt and probably has some empathy for the students. I think it's more like he's just doing his job, though, right? So he's not. It's not his fault, but he is put in the middle of this. Really, I mean, really, I would be curious. I think
integrity is important.
I think the buck goes to the top. I think President Frederick needs to address the issue.
Who's the board of directors?
The board of directors.
I'm going all the way up to the top.
Yeah, that's so true. So let me read more about because I want people.
Who's on the board?
I would like for people to know the history. This is
go
because this is not new. Howard's been in the middle every couple years. How things blow up, and what the administration does is they wait for the students to graduate. The ones who are like leading the protest.
Oh, because they get tired out.
Yeah, they'll have like they'll bring they'll bring Drake to campus and distract all the students, and they do that. That's very specific and strategic, because I used to lead campus protests, and I remember noticing that the president was very concerned about when I would graduate. He was like, "So when do you graduate again?" Because he
had to say to you.
Yeah, because he knew that when I graduated, the protests would disappear. Yeah. So
and then we're going back. Not only the protests will disappear, we're going back to business as usual.
Yes.
This one thorn in our side. You were a thorn in their side, and you were leaving. And they probably talked to all your professors, and they said, "Please make sure you pass him along.
Get him
They were like, don't give him a hard time. Make sure he's passed along. Get him out of here. And then boom.
Well, you know what? The students could probably benefit from learning about Madam President's story too. What she went through at Kentucky State University. And I'm gonna put Madam President's picture on the screen so you know who she is, and a place where you should actually follow her on Instagram. Madam President is a great spoken word artist and a very smart Black woman who's going to actually be speaking at the All Black National Convention. And so let me tell you all a quick story about Madam President, especially for any young people that are listening or those who are connected with the students at Howard. Okay, so Madam President was the student body president at Kentucky State University many years ago, and maybe in around 2005 or something like that. And she, as president, she's also president of Delta Sigma Theta. She's a great leader. So they put her on the board of trustees because a student automatically gets a spot on the board of trustees. Well, she wasn't just silent on the board. She actually spoke up because the student dorm conditions were horrendous. And what they did was they basically kind of framed her by basically finding any little thing they could use to expel her from school. And she fought her case. She fought because she said, wait a minute, y'all got people on this campus who have murdered people. They had students that went out and killed somebody. Somehow he got back in school.
They have a felony on it? I don't think you can get financial aid with felony.
But I don't think, maybe he didn't use financial aid. I don't know.
Okay, he had to pay that.
She said, y'all got students here smoking weed. Y'all got students in here that, this is back when weed was not like popular like it is now. Y'all got students in here that have done the most horrendous things, and you expelled this girl for whatever. Because I remember she reached out to me because I helped her with her case. So this is the sneaky stuff universities do. And I was familiar with what they were doing to her because that's kind of what I kind of dealt with at the University of Kentucky. When you are a student and you speak up, they know this, the faculty will be there for 20, 30 years. The students are only there for like 4 years, maybe 5 or 6. And they can kind of wait it out or distract you. And they're young, the students are young, so the administrators have more experience than they do. So they kind of play a head game with the students. So anyway, let me get back to this guy. I want me to read a little bit more?
No, I mean, what you were just talking about right now is how universities, they're really good at using like politics. It's politics over the human being.
That's so
and
true.
It's like, and you start to realize when you're at universities and institutions for a long time, a lot of the decisions that get made, you're starting to realize that it's political.
Okay. Lawrence C. Morse, PhD, is the chairman of the board of trustees.
Oh, thank you. Oh my God, Reese, we got researchers in the chat now. Thank you. Lawrence C. Morse. That. We're gonna look up Lawrence.
Okay, let's Google. Let's remember that name. In fact, I'm gonna put this up on the screen because Dr. Morse, we're gonna have to find out a little bit more about you next. All right. So let's see. In 2018, students asked Frederick for assistance with housing issues after the university was unable to assign dorm rooms on multiple occasions. Frederick responded that students' emails were inappropriate in tone. After students protested, the housing office was closed and campus police were called. He later issued a statement that he had fallen short of student expectations. In April 2018, faculty returned a vote of no confidence in Frederick. Whoa. Whoa. Among the faculty who voted, 61% expressed a lack of faith in Frederick's leadership. However, Frederick received a letter of support from the university's Council of Deans, which represents leaders of Howard schools and colleges.
Okay, so that means that faculty and the deans are having some fighting. So there's infighting going on in the university. Because the dean's job is not to fight with faculty. The dean's job is to support the faculty.
Oh, so I guess you got 3 types of players. You got the deans, the faculty, and the students.
Yeah, because deans are kind of exempt from a lot. Like I know at my institution, deans can't vote for certain things. It's just left up to the faculty body. It's almost like a faculty senate. And so the deans, they can have voice at meetings, but they don't have vote. Because the vote goes into the hands of the faculty. I'm just telling you how universities are run. Okay. And so that's why deans are kind of, once you become a dean, you're kind of removed from that entire voting body as faculty. because you have a vested interest in the vote. So your vote, you shouldn't be voting for what faculty's interest. So I wouldn't be surprised if this president got a vote of no confidence, because I'm certain the faculty who are in constant contact with the students are probably sympathetic to the students' voices and want to probably advocate for them in some ways. Like, let's get rid of this president. He's not taking these concerns seriously. I'm almost certain that's what happened.
Wow, that's heavy.
So now I think the faculty themselves are probably feeling disempowered.
Wow,
that's my guess, because I just want to say, not only have I been connected to a university probably most of my life, but my dad's been connected to universities, and like, I just know how
legacy
operate, and that's just kind of like the little political thing that they do. Okay, so you found
Lawrence Morris. Okay, so let's see. So our good sister, so she's a researcher. She's like, it's like the Scooby-Doo gang when we just
when we
investigators, right? So Reese James, who is our lead investigator, got online and did her little background in intel and found that excuse me, that the board of trustees is a guy pictured here by the name of Lawrence Morris.
Oh my goodness.
I'm choking. Oh,
you need some water.
We gotta check the house for mold.
There's no mold in this house, I can tell you that.
It could be mold. It could be mold. Okay, so his name is Lawrence Morris, PhD. And so Morris, let me tell you a little bit about Morris. I saw him on a website called History Makers. So
he's another.
He sounds like an important,
fantastical,
a very important
person.
Negro. Let's see. It looks like he's in business. His favorite vacation spot is Martha's Vineyard.
Oh, that's the most elitist of the elite.
Stop that.
Sometimes
that. He's
Martha's Vineyard. It is like rich Black people, they vacation there.
Well, he's very smart. Listen to this. Listen to the bio. Investment banker Lawrence Morris was born July 2nd, 1951. He attended Howard University in Washington, D.C., where he was awarded the Lord Scholarship and spent his junior year at the London School of Economics. That's very fancy. After obtaining his BA degree in economics from Howard in 1973, Morris earned his MA degree in 1978 and his PhD degree in economics in 1980, both from Princeton.
Oh,
that's a bad boy. He completed a postdoctoral fellowship at Harvard University in 1983. So I would imagine a guy who went to Princeton, Lawrence Morris. Lawrence Morris. Yeah. You would think that the guy who went to Princeton and Harvard would know that the side effects of mold exposure on college students.
Well, economics, he should be able to think of a way to
get some money
to at least give livable conditions for individuals.
You would think he would come up with an economic model that would allow these HBCUs to stop having to beg white people for their financial existence. That's another. Reese James says I'm a super sleuth. The Black Velma. That's so funny.
Oh, that's funny. I
can totally see her wearing that Velma outfit. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say that this guy doesn't mean well, but mean,
they gotta have love for the university, because both of these men are alumni from there. But are there any women involved? Because I don't think a woman would allow this to happen.
Well, I don't know. I don't know who.
We gotta see who else is on the board, but.
Here's the other thing too that bothers me. It's like I want to be empathetic, right? I'd love to hear from all these people. I'm not challenging this guy or beating up on him, but I'm sitting there thinking, okay, so you've climbed the highest heights of success. You went to Princeton. You became an investment banker, which means you were sitting around people that have access to billions of dollars in capital, billions in resources. Why can't you get the money necessary for universities to have an endowment that is at a level where they don't have problems like this? So either these universities are just so bloated with unnecessary expenses that they just die.
That's what I'm thinking too.
They die from the weight of their own overspending.
Yeah.
They have bad management, something that just ain't right. And I think a lot of people are concerned.
Or the thing is come clean. Just say, look, incoming class of 2021, we are sorry to announce that these dorms are not livable. Like, fess up. I mean, why just say, oh, let's just put them in here anyway? You know, why just say, you know what, these are not the conditions here at this dorm. We have failed you. We have not prepared for your entry into this learning environment. And so we are going to come up with a contingency, like another plan for you to live, a place where you can have internet. You know, I mean, just really, I think you would get more sympathy from people, and even more empathy in that sense, where we can kind of understand, wow, you have this mold problem that's out of control. And instead of just saying, just kind of like overlooking that specific detail, just throw them on in there like you don't really care. You know, they really need to come clean and say, I'm sorry. This is what's happening. We never should have let you in, or we shouldn't have let you in at all in our institution.
Yeah.
And then it looks surprised. Oh, there's mold? We didn't know that there was mold.
Yeah, and it is kind of a problem when many of us have been hearing stories about students going to Howard and having crazy experiences like this for decades, you know, and obviously it says that something's wrong, right?
Are they shrugging their shoulders like, eh?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, do you need fewer students? Like, what is the problem here?
Or do they just need to say, like Indiana University did, let's shut the dorms down. We're not putting anybody in there until this problem is fixed.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, I have no idea. I'm confused. You know, I'm confused because I want to believe that they don't want bad things to happen to their students, and I want to believe that they don't want us thinking what we're thinking about them, you know. So I don't you know, but it'll be interesting. So I'll keep you guys posted if I hear anything new. EYB says that there are 6 women who are board of trustees members.
Thank you. We got more. I wonder what their voices are.
You know, I think that they should speak.
Yeah,
you know,
I
really do. And
I think they should be down there at the administration office. I mean, right there, with them protesting. Maybe they're just scared they're going to have, politics. They're scared something's going to happen and they don't want to speak up. You know, some people do feel that way. They feel disempowered in their position, you know, and they feel like that you're looking at everybody. The rouster.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
yeah, there's women.
Okay. So, yes, let's
I'm
see.
certain these women have hearts. And I'm certain the men have hearts.
Well, according to Howard University, the governance of the Howard University is vested in the Board of Trustees, which is responsible for controlling and directing the affairs, property, and interests of the university. The Board of Trustees may exercise all powers and authorities conferred upon the university as set within the Act of Incorporation as otherwise permitted by law. Okay. So the Board of Trustees, Lawrence Morse, Chairman of the Board, Leslie D. Hale, President and Executive Officer of RLJ, I think it's Reynolds, maybe Tobacco Lodging Trust, RLG, I don't know what that is. Mark A.L. Mason, Chief Financial Officer of Citigroup. Okay, some high-powered Negroes here. Wayne A.I. Frederick, who is the president of the university. Minnie V. Baylor Henry, president of Baylor Henry and Associates. Charles M. Boyd, owner, medical director of the Boyd Cosmetic Surgical Institute.
Wow.
Chris Carr, Chief Operating Officer of Sweet Green Incorporated. Donald B. Christian, partner of PricewaterhouseCoopers.
Whoa.
Godfrey Gill, Senior Vice President, Investor Relations at Vista Equity Partners. Isn't Vista connected to that billionaire that gave all the money to the students at Morehouse to pay the student loans?
I don't know. Maybe, yeah.
And here's a white guy, Richard Goodman, Executive Vice President of PepsiCo. Michelle V. Hagens, President and Chief Executive Officer, Fort Lincoln Newtown Corporation. Danette G. Howard, Chief Strategy Officer and Senior Vice President of Lumina Foundation. Alfonso R. Jackson, Senior Advisor to CEO, First Data Corporation. Wow. Mary C. Johns, Chief Executive Officer of PPC Leftwich. James J. Mirren, he's white, chair of the Nevada COVID-19 Response Relief and Recovery Task Force, responsible for making sure all the Negroes get their jabs on time.
Well, you know what? That's why the security officer had a mask on.
Oh, that's
he was
so
following
true.
the protocol. Wow, so we got like awesome, very. I mean, it is so. I mean, what you just listed, it is very hard to reach that goal. Yeah, it's really hard to reach those positions.
I'm not even done yet.
Most people don't. Okay, go ahead.
I got some white people, more white people.
Okay, let's see.
Hillary Rosen, political analyst, CNN, and partner, SKD Knickerbocker.
Wait, hold on. CNN?
Yeah.
Interesting. I wonder why this story hasn't been told.
I know, right?
Maybe there's like a blackout. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so you got Ronald A. Oh, that's a good point. That's why CNN isn't covering this. Interesting.
Because it would go against her interest. And I bet Howard is like, yeah, we need to have somebody from CNN on our board so that we can have someone that can give us good light.
Well, you got to control the information.
We have to be strategic on who's on our board.
Yeah. Ronald Rosenfeld, another white guy, former chairman of the Federal Housing Finance Board. Seemed like
housing finance. Wait,
what the hell?
What? Hold on. What did I just mean?
Oh my God. No.
Former chairman of the
Federal Housing Finance Board.
Bye, Ronald.
Tell me that's not some shit.
Need to go.
Oh my God.
Let Ronald live
do
in
your
this
job.
You know what we should do? We should invite all of the board of trustees to live in these dorms.
Oh, they
need to live there. And if you can't live there, you need to be fired.
Oh my God. He was the head of the Federal Finance Housing Board.
This is so classic.
Okay, Shelley Stewart Jr., managing partner of Bottom Line Advisory LLC, Reeve V. Tuckson, managing director, Tuckson Health Connections LLC, Chris Washington, grassroots marketing consultant, professional DJ, and assistant athletics director and varsity coach. Okay. So that is the board of directors at Howard. Or board of trustees. I'm sorry.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, similar. The board. So so there we go. So that's what you have, and whew. I'll tell you what. This is interesting. So we'll keep you guys posted. Do you have any more thoughts?
Shame on you, Howard University.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this from love because it is a great institution and it's a great historical institution. And I think they can do better.
Yeah.
I think they're better than this. Yeah. I think that they can fix this. And I think that they need to come Monday morning. They need to go down there and they need to make this right.
Yeah. But they
need to make this right with the students.
Well, first thing I'll say is, I want to first make this point. There's a guy that lives down the street from Howard University named Dr. Claude Anderson, who has consistently spoken on the fact that Black people really need to own some universities, really have our own universities, our own campuses. And if you know the history of Howard was not built to truly empower Black people. Howard was actually started by a white guy, John Howard, who was, I think, a Civil War soldier. And I don't believe that this white man truly wanted Black people to be independent and powerful. I think that he wanted, but he did have, he wasn't as mean to us as other people were, but he wasn't a person. His objective for Black people was probably very different from this guy's objective. And if you look at the condition of Howard, right, let's just summarize this, right? So pay attention now. You got these wealthy Negroes out here that are claiming Howard. These politicians are using, the name of Howard in order to get elected, right? They're like, hey, I'm Howard. But with all these powerful people, all these Negroes in high places, why is it that you still have students who are living who are living in tent cities outside the administration building because they've got insane amounts of disgusting mold in their dorms, right? They're sending pictures out begging for help. They're reaching out to the world saying, man, this is unlivable, right? But yet down the street you got all the flashy Negroes, claiming Howard. You've got Kamala and you've got the Diddy types, but yet your students are still sitting around complaining and weak and helpless. Well, why is that? Well, because the people that you think are powerful really don't seem to have any power. I'd love to talk to this guy, this brother who's the head of the board of trustees, Dr. Lawrence. I can't remember his last name. I'd like to talk to this guy, Wayne
You know,
Fredericks, the president.
I'm
Let me just
sorry.
over,
Go
but
ahead.
then I'll let you get the last word, babe. I promise.
Hmm.
So, so here's the point. Here's the point I'm making in general, Black people, is that no matter what you think about all of this, right? And we know, what our students are going through right now, and we know that the adults around them are powerless to actually solve this problem. This means that you need a better model. You need a better model of educating Black children. There's something going on. There's something wrong with the way your universities are structured. We pour billions into this economy every year by educating our young people to go work for white folks, going through schools like Howard, where you're being trained to be employees, not to be captains of industry, not to truly build strong, independent Black economies where you can come in and solve problems like this. There are big white universities out here where when they have problems like this, they have billionaire donors in their donor base who can get together with a group of other white people and write a check for $300 million and solve the problem overnight. We don't have that. We have people that are dependent on politicians who don't come through for them. You saw that Biden, was cutting HBCU funding. Biden cut, you had Kamala using the Chucks and Pearls thing to get all these votes by using the name of Howard and all that, and you got them in office. And what do you get? You get a big bowl of crap. You get a big bowl of mold, right? Your students are still suffering the same way they did 30, 40 years ago. Dear Black people, this is not progress. This is not progress. And so I'm going to let you get the last word, babe. Thank you for letting me get that out. But this really says that maybe Howard should stop ignoring the ideas of people like Dr. Claude Anderson, who who lives right down the street from Howard, has never been invited to speak at Howard, but yet, you'll invite the people who don't give a damn about you every day of the week. If Kamala Harris called up and said, "I want to come down and speak," she'd be invited right away.
She's
and
probably
and
gonna do
and,
the.
and ain't I'll go ahead.
She's probably gonna do the. You know how they address the graduates? They have like a visited speaker
The
to
commencement.
do the commencement speak. I'm sure she'll be doing the commencement.
Yeah.
She'll get
Yeah.
invited for that.
Right.
With
Right.
with CNN there.
Right. And that's the thing. They always show up for Black people when they need something from Black
That's
people.
right. And the
But they
camera's
never
on.
show up when Black people need something from them.
That's right.
That is what
That's
I'm trying to say to y'all.
Mhm.
And I'm sorry, I know this might hurt some people's feelings, but I just gotta ask that basic question. Where is Kamala now? Where are all your
She's showing
flashy,
up.
Black people, for your flashy Negroes in high places? Where are they now?
Mhm.
None of them are to be found, and your students are still living in a big bowl of mold. I mean, just look at that nasty shit. This is trifling. This is crazy. So go ahead, babe. Get the last word. Thank you for letting me get that out.
No, I mean, I just am furthering along like your thinking here, and what came to me was that after a while, I mean, this could be a class action lawsuit. This could be something where the president, the people who are decision makers, who made the decision to open up those schools, they might be liable.
I'll tell you that
you knew that these were the conditions, and you invited people in here who trusted you. Like the parents that sent their children to school trusted that this university would take care of their child.
Mm.
And they put their children, and I'm sorry, if you're 18, 19, you're still a child. They put the trust of their children in the hands of somebody who hates them. Because that's not love, to put them into a facility like that.
No, it's not. No, it's not. They're living in tents.
They're trying to better their lives. They're trying to do better for themselves. Howard University has a great law school. They have a great medical school. They have great programs there. And students come there because of that. They want to do better for themselves. And it's not only that they're not encouraging them to do better for themselves, they're stopping them. They're slowing down the entire process and making their lives difficult, and they can't even get online to complete their work.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, forget.
They just need to walk out.
We didn't even talk about the student who was talking about the Wi-Fi being down.
The Wi-Fi was down. No Wi-Fi.
What college campus doesn't have good Wi-Fi? I thought campuses had the best Wi-Fi. What the hell, man?
Stop making me laugh. I'm really mad now.
But you know how you go on a campus, you expect, like, if they give you the Wi-Fi code, it's gonna be like that super fast Wi-Fi that you're not even gonna have that available for the general public for 5 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
They're supposed to have look at the people on their board. Their board, they got the brightest and the most intelligent people on their board.
Their board has like
they got great white people on there too.
Their board has the shiniest Negroes ever.
Those pictures were beautiful.
Like they are all hugely like accomplished on an individual level.
They've accomplished way more than I have.
And that's actually one of the points, Dr. Claude Anderson has brought to our attention, with books like Black Labor, White Wealth, is that you can have all the shiny Negroes you want with fancy jobs, but if you don't have the ability to elevate the condition of the people in your community, then all you are is, a trophy horse.
Yeah.
It's just like the Squid Games. One of y'all makes it out, the other 999 are dead. And I think that's what people have to understand, is that these fancy titles don't mean nothing if you don't have the real weight and real power to actually go in and solve the problem when your people need you.
I would love for, I'm just thinking about like practical things here. I would love for the nearby universities to hear about this and take in the students and just say, you know what? I'm sorry, Howard did not do right by you. We're going to take you in. We're going to allow you to transfer your classes over to our institution and just wipe out the student body population. And if there's no students going to your university, now what are you going to do? Don't participate with I don't care if it's a HBCU. Don't participate with institutions that is out for your demise in this way.
Karen Jackson, did Cory Booker and Gayle King graduate from Howard? No way.
Oh, that might be true. I think I read that.
She's adding people.
Oh,
and I'd be curious. Like, is that true? Oh my Lord, Jesus!
Cory Booker is right down the street from there. He's another famous alumni.
He works for white folks.
Well, our researchers in the chat would probably confirm or deny that.
If you're not white and/or gay, Cory Booker is not going to be working for you.
Wow.
He's not.
Oh, stop! He's got a girlfriend now.
Well, he'll pass things like an anti-lynching.
Cory Booker has a girlfriend.
Remember when they put all that time, all that energy into passing like an anti-lynching bill? Like Black people have been asking for. Like Black still right. Maybe if you could have passed that bill 120 years ago, it would have meant something.
1950 would have been nice.
Even
1950 showed up. They want their amendment back.
Oh my God! I think that's like 1910.
Oh
even in
1950,
lynchings were like rare enough that they made headlines. It doesn't mean they didn't they happened, just not as like. But shoot, you go around turn of the century, that's your lynching problem. That's so crazy to me.
Anti-lynching.
These people. What's wrong with these people? Oh God, I gotta go. All right, everybody. Okay, well, it was great talking to all of you. And BoyceAndAliciaTV.com. That's actually where our channel is. You can feel free to go there. And also Alicia's website, and you can follow her on Instagram at Coaching with Dr. Alicia. She is a licensed therapist and couples counselor. So if you'd like to learn more about that, you can go to coachingwithdralicia.com. And she's also a full professor of social work, and my PhD's in finance. And so that's why we are concerned with what's happening on these college campuses. And last but not least, everybody, if you could hit the thumbs up button on the way out, share this video with anybody who you think is pro-Black and wants to hear this and likes intelligent conversations. And this week, the All Black National Convention starts Friday. So if you want to join us in person or virtually, either one, you can go to allblacknationalconvention.com. It's going to be really awesome. We have 61 really intelligent Black speakers and educators and thinkers from all walks of life. Guys like Riza Islam and of course, Dr. Alicia, my wife, is one of the speakers. But we got 61 others. King Randall, talk about getting things done. This brother built his own school. He's 22 years old and didn't get no help and no funding from anybody. Angela Stanton King speaks up on the issues that matter to her. Carla Ballard actually has worked with a lot of crypto billionaires, and she is a very high-level thinker in the crypto space. We're also having a lot of fun. We're doing things like speed dating and speed networking. We have business experts like Lene Javette, health experts like Queen Afua. Devon Truvell created the Black Wall Street game. He educates our kids. We have a whole track for children. Victory Boyd is singing at the B1 Ball. Victory Boyd is signed with Rock Nation. She also is the singer that stood up to the NFL when the NFL they threatened to fire her because she didn't want to get that jab, and we believe that that's a personal choice. We don't think anybody should be forced to do it, and they said no thanks. We're going to cut your money. She said, well, you can take that money and shove it, and we're very proud of her for that, for standing up to them. A lot of the strong black men you don't see on TV, guys like Al Duncan and Freddie Taylor. These are millionaires. They're building strong black businesses, and the list goes on and on. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, you want to hear from experts in real estate and leading hip hop artists that care about the community, and political leaders, and all kinds of people that know a whole lot of stuff, medical doctors, etc. Go to allblacknationalconvention.com. That's where we get together to solve our own problems and figure out what our agenda is going to be. We ain't Democrat. We're not Republican. We are just black. So that's where we are. That's where we stand. And if you are in that category and you understand that point of view, then the All Black National Convention is for you. So bless you, everybody. It was awesome. It was real. We love you. And Alicia, did you want to say goodbye real quick, babe?
Okay, goodbye, everyone. And we will return to this topic, I think.
Oh, we're gonna hit this again.
We got work we got to get done.
I know.
We're gonna return. This is gonna be number one, top of the list.
Yes. And in case you actually want to see an HBCU that's really getting it done, feel free to go to theblackbusinessschool.com. We teach on a powernomics based philosophy. We have PhDs, educators, billionaires, wealthy real estate developers, people like Constance Carter, who runs the largest black-owned real estate firm in the country. She's coming to the convention. These are the kinds of people we listen to, and we have 150,000 students worldwide, and they don't pay, even a fraction of what it costs to go to these expensive colleges. So our goal is to build leaders. We want to build owners. We want to build people that can actually lift and elevate the people around them, not people simply seeking jobs, but people that actually want to create jobs. So my measuring stick, if you want to know my core philosophy on black success, if you consider yourself professionally or economically successful as a black person, my question to you will be this: how many jobs can you create for another black person? How many jobs can you create for another black person? If the answer is zero, if that means you can only get a good job for yourself, I'm happy for you, but that only matters for you. When you talk about the Diddies and all these flashy people out here throwing money up at the club, talking about how wealthy they are and how well they're doing, if they can't create a job, if they can't point to, hundreds of black people that have jobs because of the work that they're doing, then I think you have to question what that success means. In this situation at Howard, and I'm gonna say this and I'm done. This situation at Howard, where the students are living in tents because there's so much mold in the dorm, this is a time where that is showing itself, right? You got all these flashy Negroes standing around watching the building burn down, So what in the hell is going on where all these so-called powerful people literally have no power? Why are all these so-called powerful people literally powerless? So let's get some real power in our community. Let's start listening to ideas from people like Dr. Claude Anderson so we can actually build up our people for the future and take care of our children. That's what a strong community does. If this were to happen at a Jewish-owned university, tell me yes or no. Do you think that the children at a university owned and run by the Jewish community would have students living in the goddamn street? Give me a yes or no. Seriously. And that's my final point. I didn't mean to get too deep and too serious, and I appreciate my wife for letting me get all that out.
No, I sign on to everything that you just said. I mean, it's contempt for our own people, because Jewish American princesses, they don't do that. What happened to the Black American princesses? That girl, she doesn't deserve to be standing up like that against some man who should be her father, who should be protecting her, who should be making sure that she's safe and feel good about herself. He shouldn't be folding his arms in contempt of her. He should be embracing her and holding her and loving her.
Damn, that is so real.
Wow. Shame on him.
Wow. You got deep on it with that. Yeah, that's heavy. Well, on that note, I think I need to go take a nap because I'm depressed now. So
you shouldn't be. No one should be happy.
Yeah,
feeling this way.
That is so true. Well, let's do better for our children. Let's do better for our people. Hit the thumbs up button on your way out the door, please, if you haven't done it yet. Love you guys. We hope to see you at the convention, and we will keep you all posted on the situation at Howard University. And if you are a student from Howard, know that we stand with you and we support you, and you are right in what you're doing, and don't let these people scare you. Stand up for what you believe in, and let's just all be decent people and achieve something good for the future. Because remember, other students won't have to live in moldy dorms because these students are making a sacrifice. So that should be mentioned as well. So God bless you. Take care.
Hats off to this 2021 freshman class coming in with a bang. Yes. They've probably been in quarantine their entire senior year in high school, and they coming out and they're looking excited to interact with people. And this is where they start their higher learning career like this. Good for them. I embrace them. I'm embracing this lady here. This young lady, I'm embracing her.
There we go. All right. All right. Well, everybody, please have a good day. God bless you. And we will talk to you soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.